More mindless musings of friends while I watch someone else suck at Dark Souls.
All right, then let's go on to an even possibly worse subject.
Oh God.
Morally and ethically, what are your opinions on prostitution? Should it be or should it not be illegal? That's
I don't consider that worse than slavery, to be honest with you, because at
no,
least the
but I
girls are
mean,
paid.
I don't think
this is
it's
actually just going to be a full-scale discussion, which is why it could possibly end up
Yeah, but
worse.
I don't think it's like morally our decision to make unless we were doing it to ourselves. I mean, if it obviously it's going to be like the woman in this case, then it's her decision to do that or not. But
I mean, prostitution could be,
I think-
by either gender, but sure.
So long as the prostitutes in question aren't being beaten or severely harmed in any way, I don't particularly have an issue with it. It's the people that like freaking abuse the hell out of them that annoy me, really.
Yeah, so a bit more of the whole less brothels, more independent kind of structure.
Yeah, but that thing's a consequence of the fact rather than the actual fact. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't address the thing he's asking. And the thing he's asking really is like it's somebody else's decision to make, not yours.
No.
And I know it's still
There is
called
that.
like the oldest career profession in like history.
Well, I mean, a lot of the reason it's called that is it's not just limited to humans either. Baboons have food for in exchange for sex. Why not? Yeah. That's been a legit documented thing.
Yo,
But
respect
yeah,
the hustle.
Baboons trade food for
Respect
sex.
the hustle.
I honestly have no issue with it so long as it's done in a safe manner.
Yeah, no, I get that. I pretty much share the same opinion. But it's just, obviously for a lot of people, it's kind of... They don't agree with it.
Like I'm not a fan of when a client requests the David Carradine treatment. Like our friend from what was that show, Phil? Boardwalk Empire.
Kinda.
I mean, to be fair, well, let's be more specific. I mean, you're talking about autoerotic asphyxiation. Usually that is done more as masturbation. To be fair, that would not be so bad, I would say, with a prostitute or a partner, because theoretically it could be more controlled.
Okay, we've been over this though. Like, you're taking a chance with that thing.
Oh, without
It's
a
still a
doubt.
chance, and I wouldn't fucking
Right.
risk it to say the fucking least.
Like, there's
However,
actual science to
There's
support.
an
Like, you do
argument to
get
be
a
made there.
like you do get a bit of a buzz from it, but at the same time, are you willing to actually
Oh, there's
gamble your
science.
life?
Like I've said before, if you really want to see what that's like, just hold your breath for as long as you can and try and resist the urge to ejaculate right at the end of masturbating. You will notice a difference. Probably not nearly as strong as actual, autoerotic asphyxiation, but that I can see where people would get into that.
You're
Dangerous
recording
all
this.
hell, no fucking. I don't care. I don't give a shit what people think of me, in my opinions. Have you not fucking known me how long?
That's the type of prostitution activity I'm kind of against, though. Like something that could potentially kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's kind of. I mean, that's less about prostitution and more about the chance of murder, though. I mean, at that point, if someone is willing to sign a waiver saying that they will not hold someone liable if death does occur, would it be okay then? Because at that point, that's their choice. And if prostitution is fine, if that's their choice, then the person willing to risk their life for that, surely that's their choice, right? Where do you draw that line?
You would need more than just them to sign a piece of paper. Like they'd have to make a video of saying I completely agree to do this of my own free will. Blah 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 blah.
So you
Specify
want them
everything.
to videotape it?
No, I
So
want them to.
autoerotic asphyxiation is fine so long as it's on tape.
No, I want them to videotape their consent.
Well, yeah.
Just so there's no, like, I don't know, wiggle room. Like, oh no, you really killed him. Blah blah blah.
Well,
You
then
forged the
surely you should
signature.
have to tape the act itself to make sure there's
No.
no foul play, also, right?
No, 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 no.
I mean, just that would make sense in that regard. Surely. Because
I don't like this. Like, this is the type of prostitution I don't like. 'Cause you're dicing with danger the moment the belt comes out.
yeah. I mean, I do not agree with that much either. I mean, at that point, you are putting too much control, too much responsibility and liability on somebody else, and that is clearly just not fair.
And a prostitute of all things. Like, they're not doctors. They're not the type of people that should be holding your life in their hands.
And that's kind of rude, though. I mean,
That
I mean, a
prostitutes don't have the same.
just because they're a prostitute doesn't mean they're not educated.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
they're not
a butcher
educated.
is basically a guy that handles sausages, for a bit of money. I mean, isn't it the same thing?
I mean, there are strippers out there with there are strippers out there with degrees that earn more money from stripping, so just continue doing it. That is a thing.
Phil, that analogy is the best thing ever.
Is it? It's a self-employed position too. I mean,
I apologize, Kieran, but that thing just.
That's fine. I completely missed what he was saying. I wasn't paying attention to it.
Let's say it again, Phil.
I forgot. It's been too long now. Pretty sure it's in the call anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, it'll be in the recording. I'll watch it later.
Yeah, I have no opinion on the whole prostitution thing.
So not for, not against.
Why would I be for?
I don't know.
No.
Look, I'm not saying that if you're for prostitution, you have to go and see prostitutes regularly or any other
here's the
such
thing.
shit.
Here's the thing.
Just,
I'm not pro and I'm not against. Like, I think people should be able to think for themselves and make decisions for themselves, even if it means, doing that. It's just something that exists to me. You know what I mean? Like, I have no involvement, I have no argument, I have no horse in that race.
Kind of pro-prostitution. It's because it's if people choose to do it, type thing.
I'm on the fence. I have no horse in this race. It's like nature. It's like a tree outside my door. Okay, it just simply exists.
Yeah, but trees can be annoying if you get hurricanes.
Well,
So basically, you have no horse in this race because Gundams don't have a right to consent.
Not yet.
Well, just wait until robot prostitutes become a thing.
I mean, we're getting closer every day. I mean, modern technology is getting better every day, and heck, the more lifelike sort of like dolls and all sorts of other things people create now is horrifying. The whole concept of Uncanny Valley is just really getting to a very weird point.
We'll
I'm
get
happy
that
with my PS5.
pervert.
What?
That HDMI port isn't for that, buddy.
We'll get that strip club from Detroit becoming human yet. Just you wait. It's the best level of the game too, in my opinion.
Yeah, as soon as like the technology is there, something like that will exist. I don't think that much is even up for debate.
God, what was that Scrubs line now where he's like, hey, the internet's been around since the 90s. Even if everybody just got rid of the internet, we would just still be like, everybody would still go to the government office, say, hey, where's the porn?
I'm actually shocked movie theaters have managed to stick around for as long as they have.
With the advent and whatnot of streaming services, absolutely, I agree.
Because, I mean, all movie theaters are at the end of the day are a means for the general public to watch a movie. And
A
you know,
public
back
streaming service.
well, but back in the day, like, yeah, I could understand why they were popular, why they existed, for lack of a better word. Now we have better means of getting movies out to the public, more convenient ways, even.
Okay. But does seeing a movie on your own in a dark room with a gigantic TV, I guess that's fine. That's Eric Carmen fever, but that's not me. I prefer being with my friends.
But, buddy, you can be with your friends and get that same buzz. You don't have to watch a movie alone.
Well, not in the current year that we are, and not in the current past year that we were. The collapse of cinemas in comparison to the whole media thing taking off completely, the impetus for it is currently what we're going through right now, okay? When cinemas open again in like big time money making businesses, do you think there'll be a slight bit of like hesitation there behind the scenes where they'll be like, we could put this out in like God knows how many branches, or we could just stick it on Netflix next week and make millions?
People have gotten very used to the idea of comfort and being in their own home for such things.
Exactly.
Well,
Wait,
here's the
wait,
thing.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
To the distribution arm, what do you think makes more money to them? Like, what will they consider first? Will it be
I
cinema?
don't know,
They
because
will still consider cinema because, I mean, heck, the amount that places will pay for the rights to like play and stream those movies is kind of ludicrous. I
'Cause
mean,
let's be honest,
to
but-
the point that, hence the huge markup on things like popcorn and the concession stands, because that is actually the way the cinemas make the money. It's not from the movie itself.
exactly.
If anything, it just means that cinemas will be willing to pay less because they are going to get less customers in.
I've had a lot of very bad movie experiences. Like, I don't mind when we joke around while we watch a movie, even if it's a good movie. Because, you know, we're friends, we know each other, blah, 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 whatever. But when an asshole that I don't know talks story in a movie, it bothers me. I mean,
So you get bothered by the kind of very stereotypical, the like black lady at the horror movie. No, don't you go in there, etc.
Don't go in there. Don't go in there.
Oh,
Oh,
don't-
you went in there.
are you quoting Scary Movie?
I think so. I
It's a
remember
Family
some
Guy sketch.
scene from something that was like that. It might be a Scary Movie. I don't know.
Do you not remember the seagull in the Family Guy cinema like sketch where he's like, "Gosh, somebody should shut that guy up. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Oh, he went in there. You stupid son of a bitch."
Well, I mean, I think I've told you multiple times how my experience with the second Fate Stay Night movie was just completely awful.
You went to a sex scene in animated form. You were like, "This is what we came here for, people." Woo! That guy in the crowd.
Phil, it was one of the most tamest sex scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Like, you don't see
It was
anything.
just like, okay.
But the dude was an asshole the entire way through. Like, she's made out of worms, dude! This is what we came for, people! For 2 fucking hours. Like, just... And it was a pretty good movie, too, which annoyed me. Like, I don't mind people heckling a bad movie. Because when I went to see that Rise of Skywalker, people heckled the hell out of that one. Like, they outright booed the screen when, Kylo Ren and Rey kissed at the end.
I mean, we did the same thing, so.
I've never had that experience in a movie before where the audience openly turned on a movie like that, let alone a Star Wars film.
But it was garbage, so can you blame them?
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. And keep in mind, there's bad Marvel movies that I've seen and people never turned on it.
Like Black Panther?
There's some good stuff in Black Panther, and there's some bad stuff. That's a 50-50 movie for me.
People talk about that movie like it's so damn great. But, no. I mean, I doubt it anyway. I've not actually bothered watching it.
Yeah, I was about to say, how many
I've heard
MCU
some
movies have you seen?
Not too many. I don't watch movies, you know this.
The ones that matter.
I mean, there's maybe 5 MCU movies that I can honestly say I like.
I watched the original Avengers.
Let's see.
I don't know, is
MC
Guardian Guardians of the Galaxy, a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I watched the original for that.
I like Groot. It's probably my favorite Marvel movie.
I've seen some Spider-Man movies from years past.
With Willem Dafoe
I think so. Yes.
and Tobey Maguire, I think, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, there's a rumor going around that Dafoe might be coming back.
Why?
What?
Yeah, I think I've told you about this for the upcoming Spider-Man movie that's as of now scheduled to come out Christmas.
Scheduled to come out Christmas, not a single trailer available for it just yet. In April. End of April as well, like almost like nearly half the year through.
Is that a bad thing? Like, we've discussed this numerous times. You release your trailers 3 or 4 years before your movie comes out, it kind of sucks.
I mean, I expect it within the same year, but usually the beginning of the year.
So how many trailers have we had for Black Widow? And how many release dates has that movie had?
That's a good point. It's a really good... Hey, how about that James Bond movie, right? What do you think will release first? Daniel Craig's final James Bond movie, ScarJo's final actual MCU like movie, okay? Half-Life 3.
I already know my answer. Go on.
Denis Villeneuve's Dune. Like, where the hell are these movies? They should have been out at Christmas.
Well, COVID happened.
Yeah, but COVID didn't happen at Christmas. COVID. Okay. Oh, Elden Ring's
Hell,
probably
for that matter, I vote for Bloodborne Cop.
Elden Ring will probably come out first, considering like the sheer buzz that thing is getting right now.
My money's on the Winds of Winter.
Bloodborne Kai is undisputed king though.
Oh.
Tonight,
Bloodborne
German
Cop
joins
is-
the race.
Bloodborne Cop, for a complete fucking joke, is a damn shame that game is not made. I would play that. I don't care.
It's too much substantiated lore and like the design work that makes it seem like the best idea ever.
I'm actually worried about that Suicide Squad movie, by the way. Like, it's directed and written by James Gunn. And I love James Gunn. He's not made a single movie I've hated. But, like, this looks like it could be the first.
Welcome to DC movies, I guess, you know. James Gunn aside, if like DC's Warner Brothers branch tells him like, hey, do the movies in this tone, do it in this way, James has got to do it. He's the director. He has to follow through on all of the creative decision making.
But they gave him a talking shark.
Sounds great. Fancy, you really good. Yeah, I'm on board with it, but
Played by Stallone, of all people.
dignity, where art thou? Oh wait, no, he did Stop and My Mom Will Shoot. So it doesn't count.
I mean, we could eat your salad, we get Stallone played a shark. This should be good.
Should is a very strong and vague word, buddy. I'm glad you enforced that.
I know, but also written and directed by James Gunn, who's freaking amazing. Oh, the one night we watched Super, we were laughing our asses off.
Wait, which one was Super?
The one with the dude who played Dwight on The Office.
It wasn't a funny movie. It was a bit of a tragedy.
You were freaking out the moment you saw the guy who played Bubbles.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Wait, how was that movie a tragedy?
The one where Dwight is trying to kill a lot of people so he can get his wife back.
Yeah.
And it says, oh, she just ran from him anyway because he's a loser.
Yes.
That's a tragedy, dude.
It becomes a tragedy in the final 5 minutes. But he got his rabbit.
No, good.
His superpower, Kieran, was hitting people over the head with a wrench.
Sounds effective.
It was.
Wrenches hurt.
Yes, they do. What was the other movie we saw? Was it Slither?
There's a large number of movies we've seen, buddy.
No, I meant James Gunn movies. The one where Michael Rooker turns into an alien.
Oh, that's Slither, yeah. Did he turn into an alien? I thought he just got infected.
Oh.
It's kind of like the Men in Black thing, only without the Men in Black.
A little bit.
really is.
That's a movie we need to watch one night.
No, it isn't.
You don't like the Men in Black?
I've seen it a million times. Everybody has seen it a million
Yeah,
times.
everyone has seen that like a million times.
It's probably like one of the most syndicated movies on TV.
It's a good movie.
It's not that it's a bad movie, but God, I honestly think it's just kind of mediocre. It's all right, but don't think it's that great.
Ever watched the cartoon they made for the movie?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces, but
It's really good.
So, here's an interesting thing.
I just think you like the Men in Black. I don't think it's that good.
I'll go on, Phil.
Okay, so like the other movies aside, do you know the cartoon thing they made in the 90s based on Men in Black?
Yes.
Made by the same guys at HBO Spawn.
Oh,
Like,
that explains a lot.
It explains like the mood, the tone, like everything they chose for that. And they even got like some professional MTV like music directors too, like video.
But
Like some interesting talent goes behind some of these productions.
But all right, but the Spawn show was super dark and serious. The Men in Black
Yes.
show was very satirical.
I don't know. The opening was pretty moody.
No, the opening was awesome, but the show was very tongue-in-cheek, like the movie.
I actually never watched it. I just know of the opening because the opening's the most famous thing from it.
I'm just saying, it was a good cartoon. I remember really liking it as a kid. I liked it more than the movie.
You know, one of these days I'm gonna actually watch that Carol show that she was always mentioning to us at one point. You know, the Captain Simeon one. Because I swear to God, I remember that when I was younger, and I never actually watched it. Like, I always get confused between that and like another Warner Brothers show that came up. I think it was Road Rovers or something. And I think that was like about a bunch of talking dogs.
Yeah, no, I'm content with having grown up watching like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry and
Yes, anthropomorphic cats and dogs.
and yet somehow not a furry.
Same here, thankfully.
I was looking up the cast of that Captain Simeon show. Apparently James Avery was in it. The dude who played Uncle Phil on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Dorn also.
Oh.
He's on that Invincible show, by the by. Playing a character called Battle Beast. Oh, I love that character he plays, buddy. Like they introduced this guy like he's going to be like just some random mook. Because a lot of Invincible is just monster shows up, Invincible and his dad kill the monster, family drama.
Sounds kind of boring.
Well, it is and it isn't because it's done in a very satirical way. It's like a slightly serious version of The Tick. And then Battle Beast shows up to be like the bodyguard of this, I don't know, 2-bit crime lord. And you think he's like, just tired muscle, like a complete chump. And he ends up like beating the crap out of half the cast and even killing some of them.
Oh damn! So he's like Hammurabi pilot, whatever the hell his name is from Zeta Gundam.
Yeah, Yazan Gable.
Freaking Yazan Gable, he's like, oh, he's just some mook, he's on the enemy side, who cares? Ends up like murdering half the cast. Shit! I guess it, like, don't underestimate your bad guy, even if they're just villain of the week, I guess,
It's refreshing to see the villain win.
No! If you like your heroes, then no.
Come on, in those Tales games, don't you enjoy those fights where your heroes get demolished? They're in almost every game.
Wait, in Tales games? Like what?
Dessyria, frickin' Artoria, beats the crap out of Velvet, and then Rokuro's brother does the same.
Spoilers much?
I actually don't know too much about Shigure. Like, it wasn't Shigure the whole thing, like he stole the sword or something? I forgot. It's been way too long. I played Berseria once, and everyone was like, what?
And then the same thing happens in FF9 with Beatrix.
She should be in prison. I don't care what anyone says. She should be in jail.
Like, how many times does Beatrix kick your ass? 3 or 4 at least.
It's kind of twice, I think, but that's it. The third time around, she's like, yeah, I'll join you guys. You seem to be having it going on. But the first 2 times, she's like, I once killed 100 innocent men for simply talking out of turn to me. I'm such a monster. I should be in prison. I'm a war criminal. And then she's like, yeah, okay, you're right. On the third attempt.
Her attacks conveniently only take you down to 1 health for every party member.
Good old Gordon. Why do they let that woman get away with everything? And yet Kuja, ooh, that lousy Kuja. I hate it when, like, logic looks the other way because she's hot, What?
Phil, she had a change of heart. She
I
switched
came,
sides.
I saw, I conquered. I felt really bad about it. Like, who are you kidding?
Wait, you mean like the CIA who hired the Nazi scientists after World War II who got off scot-free?
Yeah,
Kind of
but
the same concept, but that actually happened.
she's not a Nazi scientist. She is literally somebody that killed like hundreds of innocent people. She boasts about it.
So did Nazi scientists.
Yeah, no, they gave the orders too. They didn't actually do that.
It
Phil,
doesn't matter.
who's that? Who's the most famous Nazi scientist? What's his name? Mengele?
Didn't he escape to South America though?
I'm just saying. Imagine if the U.S. government or any government gave that asshole a pardon. Would you be pissed?
Yeah, wouldn't you? It's got less to do with you than it does me and Kieran because you don't live in Europe, but maybe.
No, but you read up about some of the shit that guy did, and it kind of makes you feel dirty that we're still kind of benefiting from some of his discoveries today.
Well, okay, this is the Cardi thing from Star Trek Voyager, isn't it?
How?
Well,
yeah.
You know the guy from The Thing, the guy who's like the guy who actually did the most of the damage in that movie. Like he plays the holographic Cardi that the dog gets like a hyperfixated like kind of respect for. And then when he actually meets him, he's like, "Oh, like we're getting somewhere. This is a lot of interesting research we're doing here, and it's to save somebody's life from like an alien bug, isn't it? Like literally latching onto their heart. You can't remove this bug from the chest without murdering the guy behind it." And so it's like they introduced this Cardi character so they can poison it slowly using experimental methods. It's World War II all over again. It's like,
Joseph Mengele.
Yeah.
What I don't like, I hate the ending of that episode, by the way, when they delete him.
Yeah, and like even the character, I think it was Blana Torres, wasn't it? She's like, I'd rather get killed by this thing than get this Cardassian's research to save my life. Even if he's just a hologram. And the doc is like, it will still save your life. Even if it's like horrific black magic, it will still save your life.
I believe this exact same scenario shows up in Mass Effect 2 with Morden's assistant. Where he's doing, I can't call them human experimentations, but he's doing experiments on live Krogan females. And most of them are dying, but he's getting closer to cure the genophage with each one.
Yeah, I have no opinion on that. You do it in 3 anyway.
But you're given the choice then. Like, do you destroy his data that, allow Morden to potentially come up with a cure easier, or do you destroy it? Because, live experiments...
Doesn't it happen regardless in the 3rd game?
I don't know. Oh, I think Eve dies if you destroy the data. Because
okay.
Morden's... Yeah.
Because raisins...
No, because Morden couldn't come up with a cure for her, I don't know, version of the virus with
the thing
without
is,
the data.
The thing is, in the 2nd game, who's going to get more upset? Rex? He's not even there. It's going to be Grunt. Who cares what Grunt thinks? Grunt's a nobody Rex in comparison.
It's more of an
not even that. Fucking Mr. Test Tube had no fucking personality.
Okay, he's Mr. Test Tube, Stephen Blum, Spike Spiegel, Krogan. He should be the coolest character ever, but he's not. They get Worf to play a Krogan, and he's like, dude, you're a space dinosaur Klingon. You should be the coolest thing ever. Why are you a traitorous butt pirate in the 2nd game?
Yeah, why did they make Michael Dorn into a villain? I don't get that.
Dude, you're a dinosaur Klingon. You should be the coolest character ever. Why?
By the way, Michael Dorn played a Krogan. It had to happen.
Okay. Because Bill Mumy doesn't like the idea of playing aliens.
Yes, no, he doesn't. No.
And does he not quite realize, like, hey, all of these sci-fi projects, all like these Star Trek shows, this Mass Effect series, like the most interesting characters happen to be the aliens
I
every
know.
time. Like, who was the most interesting character on like Star Trek TNG? It's Data, because he's a machine.
Yeah.
He gets like
Data,
the
Worf.
most episodes dedicated to him because he's the most interesting character. Like the morality of like, okay, is he a human being? You know, he's a machine.
Picard got some good episodes too.
Well, Patrick Stewart, lead character, power. But like even DS9 is the same thing. Like, who gives a shit about Bashir and like a O'Brien episode? I'm gonna see more about Garak. Like every time.
You weren't entertained by by O'Brien suffering.
No. There's one really good O'Brien episode where he suffers like crazy, and that's the one where he's in the holographic jail cell for like 70 something
Yes,
years.
hard time.
That is the best. That is like nightmare fuel, that episode.
What about the one where the Cardassians put him on trial? That's a fun one.
Who gives a crap?
With his lawyer selling him down the river. Like how many cases have you actually won, man? Nobody's perfect.
You think I'm defending you? No, that's not how it works here. Shit. Can I get another lawyer?
I'm here to help you realize why you're guilty. Wait, what?
What's the point of a Cardi trial? Everybody's guilty when you go in anyway. It's just the show of it.
To help you understand why you're guilty.
You stole that bread and fed your family. I hope you realize this is why you're getting 17 years in prison.
Like I love the joke in the episode. This trial's gone on for 2 hours already. It's already the longest trial in the history of our world.
Oh, but at this point we would be at the execution, would we? What a joke, Grace. I'm starting to see why those guys got demolished at the end of that show.